Hello children, and welcome to today's collective worship. Just as we're getting ready to start, Mrs. Robertson is going to share her screen with you, and she's going to start by saying, "This is the day that the Lord has made." Fantastic. Okay, so today children, we are going to think about East Brent's school vision and the values that go with our school vision. And I'm going to explain what we mean by a school vision. So as you can see, our school vision says we are proud to be part of our Christian community and the values that we uphold. And at East Brent, our aim is to instill a love of learning by inspiring learning for life. Now, some of you might be there thinking, what does that actually mean? So first of all, let me explain what a school vision is. A vision is like a goal. It's what we're all working towards. And that's what we're doing at East Brent. All the grown-ups are trying to inspire you so you really, really want to learn. Okay, and I've put some pictures in there to show you that we're all part of a community and we're all trying to do that together. And the other thing that we learn from one another is it's important to talk, but we also have to listen to each other. And sometimes we get inspired when we listen. So that explains our vision. Now, the values that go with our vision are, as you can see there, trust, love, wisdom, respect, courage, and aspiration. Now, those are all values that we actually talk about throughout the course of 2 years. So we do a different value and cover that as part of our collective worship. And hopefully you will remember that we're thinking about courage this half term. And we talk about Christian values being things that we talk about and think about at school, and we learn about them and how we use them in our everyday life. Now, to help us put this all together and help you to understand it, our vision and our values link to a parable from the Bible. And the Bible story, or the parable rather, is called the Pearl of Great Value. Now, all the grown-ups in the school with the governors, all the teachers, we sat down and looked at what picture would help you understand what this pearl of great value actually looked like. And as you can see, it's a beautiful pearl being held in our hands, helping us to understand that the kingdom of God is a treasure, and it's more precious than anything in the world. And what we're hoping to do is to make us realize how special we all are, and our world is special. But also, if you think about all the values that we just mentioned, we're inspiring you to be really good learners and to love school and to enjoy it. And also, we want you to be motivated and to believe in yourself so that you think you can do it. Now, to help us understand this pearl of great value, I've actually got the parable here, and it helps us understand. Now, there are actually 2 parables linked to this, but I'm just showing you the one with the man in the picture there holding the special pearl. And our parable linked to our vision is called the Pearl of Great Value. So the parable starts like this. Jesus spoke to everybody about what is a kingdom. He explained a kingdom is a place where everyone does what the king says. If you live in the kingdom of God, then that means you do what God says, because God is the king. He also went on to say that the kingdom of God is not a place. It's a way of thinking and acting. Jesus taught people about the real King of the universe who loves everyone. He wants everyone, no matter where they live, to follow him and live in this very precious and wonderful kingdom. So if you live on the other side of the world, say, for example, in New Zealand, and do what God says, then you live in the kingdom of God. And if you live also on the other side of the world, in America, then you do what God says and you live in the kingdom of God. So when we are all praying together and we're at school and we say things together, we're all doing that in the kingdom of God. Now, sometimes kingdoms can be rich and beautiful. And the king might own all kinds of treasures and have lots of money. But what we're going to talk about is the very, very special parable, which is about the parable of the pearl. And when we talk about a parable, I wonder if you can remember what that is. Is it something that we just read in the Bible? I wonder what that is. So actually, let's remind ourselves that a parable is a story that helps us understand what Jesus is trying to tell us about. And this is where our parable that links to our vision comes from. So once there was a pearl merchant who looked for valuable pearls. When he found good pearls, he would buy the pearls at a low price, and then he'd sell them at a higher price to make money. The pearl merchant was always looking for the finest pearls. One day, the pearl merchant found one pearl that was really valuable. It was the most beautiful pearl he had ever seen. He knew that he had to have that pearl, and the merchant sold everything he had so he could have enough money to buy it. That pearl is then what we think about in terms of the kingdom of God, because it is so precious. Just as the pearl merchant gave up everything he owned to have that very precious pearl, the kingdom of God is so valuable that we will want to do everything to be part of it. And we are all part of that at East Brent. And that's why this parable is so important. And it helps us to understand that when we're inspiring you, we're also inspiring you to respect everyone around you. So when you're learning and playing and thinking, that we inspire one another, but we also respect one another and we value being in the kingdom of God. Now, the kingdom of God, as we know, is a wonderful place. When we go to special places, sometimes it might be that you go to a beautiful park. It might be that you go on holiday and you see a beach. It might be that you go somewhere that's very special to you and your family. And all those places are part of the kingdom of God. Now, we've talked a lot about our vision and our values, and I'd like you to have a look around the school and see where you can spot that picture that Mrs. Robertson showed you earlier with the pearl in two hands. And there you will see what is called the vision of East Brent. Now we're going to finish our collective worship just thinking about some of those things we've talked about today. So I'd like you to put your hands together, please. Dear God, help us to feel part of our Christian community and the values we uphold. Help us to find a love of learning and to become respectful, confident, independent, and creative learners. Help us to achieve all our goals within a safe, nurturing, and fulfilling environment. Amen. Okay. So you've had lots to think about, and I'd like you just to remember that very precious pearl and think about how important that is when we're all together at school, thinking about our wonderful kingdom, and that you and I and all the grown-ups are part of that wonderful kingdom. I hope you all have a lovely day and a lovely week, and I will look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thank you for joining my collective worship today. We're going to finish by saying, "This is the day that the Lord has made." Thank you, children, and see you all very soon. Bye.